Hello, good evening everybody, welcome along to the JACKOCAR Cup Series here for Season 4, Round 3 here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm your commentator Owen White, with me as always is Jacko. We've had our week off, we're back for some more high drama.
High drama, good evening everybody, high drama and lots of changes as well, Owen.
Oh yes.
Talk through a few of these once we've got the tweet out, which is there. And where do we start? Drivers 57 and 58 start tonight, so that is Deck a Cornley. He's racing, he's a newbie, and also Arthur, he is racing later on, filling Michael O'Keke's spot, who is sadly not here because of internet issues, so it's a very late call up. We also have, who else is joining us this week? Risky, his first race this season, but is of course full time. Red Matt has replaced, not Vitinho, he has replaced Cloudy. Jess is in as a reserve, Newgarden is in as a reserve, and also Splinter is in as a reserve, and this is his first race since round 15 of Season 2 in the Cup Series.
Righty then, so are we having the timing glitch again, I wonder? Because if we don't see Jess coming out of the pit lane in the next sort of 5 seconds, then I'd assume we've got that glitch again. Basically, what happens is we come into a qualifying session and our clock is always 1 minute ahead, basically. So for them, it's actually 17:35. As far as I'm aware, that's what's happening. So while Codemasters are out there doing stupid cryptic tweets about a track that should have been in the game from day one, here we are with a broken online system. So apologies for that. Nothing we can do. So we do have all our timings. Of course, each driver has to be out 45-second intervals. That sort of goes a bit out the window, but we'll try and keep track of it anyway, as Jess does come out.
We can, in this short period we have before Jess is fully out, we can talk about tonight's Joker. It is, of course, the only man with a full-time seat this season who has won a race and into the playoffs. It is J. Luke, and your stage points tonight are the end of lap 7 and end of lap 15.
Now we also have new safety car rules, right?
We have a slight change, a slight adaptation to the safety car restart rule. Do you want me to do it, or
I'll let you do it because I get it wrong.
I'll do it. Okay, so first 2 races of the season, your drivers, the lead car, was supposed to bolt or go whatever at the start-finish line. It turns out that's actually quite difficult and open to interpretation to judge when start-finish line actually is. So now it is between the start-finish line and 2 grid rows back. So if any driver is in any doubt, they can go at the start-finish line, but they do have a bit more of a window now, similar to NASCAR, where they have their restart zone. It's much the same as that, single-file restarts.
Okay then, right, so that is something that the drivers will be doing tonight. I wonder how many will still manage to take advantage of it. There'll always be someone, but we're waiting for Jess now in the number 95 to come round to start her first lap then. She'll have no traffic to worry about, of course, and so she'll have the track all to herself, and we'll see how she gets on. Obviously, we'll see. She hasn't been here so far this season. It's her first race since Season 2, isn't it, in the Cup Series?
Yes, round 16, Season 2 in Canada, where she crashed out. But she didn't want to be reminded about that, Owen, so we won't mention it.
Okay, noted.
But she did crash in Canada Season 2. That was her last start, so
yeah.
Hope that clears it up.
Yeah. That should clear up. She crashed. But hopefully she doesn't crash today like she did in her last JACKOCAR appearance, if you remember, back in Season 2, round 16. She crashed there, I think. But
oh, did she?
Yeah. But enough about that. She's halfway through the lap at the moment. Let's say he'll give us a benchmark, but she is struggling to hit a couple of the apexes. Plenty for other drivers to improve on. Expect everyone to qualify in the softs, unless it's Jamie, who we always see doing his alternate strategies, and this is actually the one week where we really expect him to do it, because it is, of course, his Joker, and it makes all the sense in the world to try something different, so possibly he would do that today, but we'll keep our eye on him. He'll be out later on in the session. But first of all, we've got Jess coming round, and we'll see what the benchmark time is as she comes on. And this is going to be the run to the start-finish line. And she does a 128.1, so we can move on now then to Deck, who unfortunately is invalidated. So that's not gone too well.
On his debut as well, Deck is using the 71 car, of course, last used in the league by Pro Opa, but he will be starting towards the back. He has to complete this qualifying lap as part of the new rules system. I wonder if he will, but we will, Owen, in the meantime, move on to Newgarden, a man who actually helped write the rules.
Well, that's always an advantage, isn't it, to know your own rules. Hopefully he doesn't break any of them, but as he heads up, another one of those two-tone liveries where you've got a bit of the chrome, bit of the matte paint on it. I must say, it looks very nice indeed.
Yep. And Deck does complete his lap. It was a 126, by the way.
Okay, so it would have been P1, but of course, invalidation is the end of your session. As long as you finish the lap, though, it's okay. Might be the cut of people. There are technically 4 people who, if they all invalidate, could end up behind him. But we'll see how that goes later on, as Newgarden heads through the middle sector now, and we'll see how he gets on. Like I say, Jess still topping the session, plenty of times out there being set, and we will see what this one's going to be. So Newgarden in the middle sector, 105.5. Not too sure what Jess was, but I'd imagine Newgarden would be going quicker than that at the moment, as he heads to the final 2 corners. Always got to remember this is 2 corners. Ask Alex Albon, who's come back to the F1 grid. I'm sure he'll know very much about that corner. As he comes to the line, Newgarden, and it will go P1 by a second.
Yeah. Oh, and it is to my understanding, as we move to Risky Racer, that pole time we should be expecting around a low 125. Maybe people like Arnold, Iceman P could scrape into the high 124s.
Yeah, I'm expecting that. And I'm very much interested to see how they do, because, see, the thing is now, in that other league, One Hub, I race a couple of these people now, so I actually have to use this, because we're racing at Bahrain tomorrow. I've really got to make sure that my compatriots in that league aren't going to be too, quick. Because I feel quite confident, actually, and I shouldn't be saying that, because they'll be thinking, oh, what's his time? But,
yeah, 25.7 for Risky.
Yes, much
Welcome
quicker.
back to JACKOCAR for the man from Mansfield.
Yep,
As he tops the
hopefully.
timing sheets.
Hopefully that's a competitive time, we will see. Now, next up, haven't seen this Donny for a while, have we? Splinter.
No. 2-time race winner in Cup Series, Championship 5 in the Kia Series last season. Is, of course, Jamie Bromley in that 24 car. Orange livery this week. I think that's what he uses in Kia. To the line, it's going to be P2 for now.
Good lap on his return. Right, here is Thomas. Now, Thomas, we saw him having many issues in the last race in France. And I think it's because he had some sort of floor damage. So we sort of saw the consequences of that, with him constantly spinning, and when eventually the safety car came out, he was a lap down, so couldn't take any advantage of it. And so that is the dangers of the simulation damage which we run here. So really, I hope the drivers will be starting to get a little bit more wary of that. Of course, feel free to have all the drama, but you just got to be aware of the risks, as luckily he won't have to worry about that in a qualifying lap, and as he heads through the middle sector, it's looking relatively competitive. So we'll see if Thomas can challenge for P1. Nice livery, by the way. Looks very nice under the night sky and all the floodlights on it.
I like it. Just hints of yellow and blue. It works really well. Of course, Thomas actually should be feared. He's a 3-time race winner, for goodness sake. Up to the line, and it's P2 for now. Now, Risky's time is actually fairly competitive, we must say, because he did win the pre-season test race in Belgium. But who's next? Kieran.
Kieran Spears. Still hasn't got a helmet. Do you know, I was looking
what I was thinking.
I was looking in the store the other day, and this helmet is genuinely a real thing. If you go into the store, I'm not sure it's there anymore, but there was a helmet being sold which actually had no design on it. So I'm going to actually assume that this is actually an intentional
so
thing
weird.
the Codemasters have put in there because, as Kieran goes fifth place, that was put into the store again, and they didn't fix it. So I'm going to actually assume no helmet
So
is a real thing, and it's not a
it's
glitch.
a thing, but it's not meant to be a thing.
I
Or
guess
it is a glitch.
if they put it in twice, it must be real. Surely, I have it out, or they really don't test their game. But yeah, really bizarre stuff there.
Codemasters.
Really bizarre stuff. But he's gone fifth. Right. Next up, we have got Red Matt coming through
Red
the
Matt,
last
newest
corner.
Newest full-time driver, filling in for Cloudy, of course, after his exit.
And P1,
From the league.
he goes. I see Red Matt's taken on Clyde's colour scheme there as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like
Red
Clyde
Matt
was never gone.
But he is gone, retired from league racing after, 8-9 years of it. He's finally had enough.
Yes.
Packed it in, all leagues, so it's not our fault. As we move on to MK Bourne. New livery, purple and black. It looks very nice under the lights here in Bahrain.
Yeah, I think we saw him run this in the last race as well. A lot of people running this template, and it does work particularly well at night time. As you can see, the different tones of
Yeah,
purple.
it's beautiful.
It's like looking at space. This from far back. It's a beautiful livery, and I'm pretty sure Jamie has a green version of this. So we'll see if he dons it tonight, because I must say, a beautiful template. And as NK Bourne comes across the line, is the purple livery going to deliver a good lap? Yeah, P4, not bad.
One.
Not bad at all. Who's next? We've got
Esty Mats.
Mats, yes, in the fruit salad car. I'm not sure how many people agree with me. Like I say, it looks like one of those fruit salad sweets.
You know, it's awful, but I kind of like it. Like the template is awful, but the colouring works really well.
Frenagamu, must be him in disguise.
Frenagamo, who
Or Pro
isn't
Oprah,
colourblind.
you know.
Yep. Or Rick Menzies.
Multiple names for the guy, but you all know him. He's iconic liveries. And this must be the successor. But
Very
I like
nice.
it.
Sunburst
I do like
pink
it.
with cherry and orange on there. It's very nice, yeah.
It's a striking design. And, let's see if it brings him any success. He's even got the helmet to go with it, you know. It looks very nice, actually. But as he comes to the line, Esty Mats goes... Oh, I wasn't even paying attention.
Oh, he must have had a mistake somewhere.
Yes,
we didn't see that.
We were too busy discussing livery to realise he was on a slow lap. But oh well, you still got your screen time. Right, who's next?
It's Vitinho. Look, we're back in his Brazilian car. Basic
Yes.
block colours up to the line. P5.
Not bad. Not bad. Right, here's Jake.
Jake,
He's also
who
in his
led a
traditional
number of
colours.
laps. Yeah, led a number of laps in France 2 weeks ago. Sadly, didn't come to him. Little moment there on the exit. And it was, of course, Casper who won that race. One of the reserve drivers. But Jake, certainly a lot faster on this game, it would appear. To come into Sector 3 now.
You know, Jake's had his moments in the last game as well, where it's looked like a win could be on the table. Surely it's going to have to come this season. I must say, see his eyes invalid.
Oh, invalidation.
I've done it again. But I'll keep talking because I was going to say that livery works. His helmet, though. Oh, look at that! I love the helmets on this game. You're going to make me go bankrupt, Cody's, and I hate this game. Really, it's a disease. This.
I sure hope somebody clips the moment where you mention about his helmet and then make a lovely noise.
Oh, Christ.
That's one for out of context.
Okay, let me just quickly point out that we do have Jamie out there. He's invalidated his lap, but that's what the livery looks like. So yes, it's a green version. Right, who's next on a lap? Iceman, is it? Who's actually next?
It's Arthur. It's Arthur. Inver OKK, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got a glimpse of Jamie's livery there, but he has actually invalidated, so we don't really have to look at him too much. Although Mike...
Is that Jamie G? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the 3 Jamies tonight, so all eyes on Arthur then.
Oh, it could be an eye-up, I suppose, but we'll see.
Bournemouth fan is Arthur, and it's going to be P2. Solid start on your debut, not bad.
So that's how he got his spot in the league then? Did you meet him in the crowd?
No, I didn't.
Ah. Fair enough.
I meet a few people in the crowd at Dean Court, though, I will say that. I've got my seat as well. It's not a season ticket yet, but it may as well be. I'm there so often. Row
Fair
F,
enough.
seat 143, block 15 in the north end. That's where I'll be.
Right, and
Any Bournemouth fans?
you know where to find him. I'll be looking for him on Arsenal's away days next season at this rate.
Well, when you get relegated or when we get
Yep.
promoted?
Let's not explain the joke forever. Let's just move on from our dreadful season so far and talk about Iceman.
Iceman's
Here
the
he
line.
is.
This should be P1, surely. And it's not, it's P3.
P3, it's not horrendous. It's a decent enough lap. Jimmy has gone against him. Must have been a night lap then, I suppose.
Yeah, because that was way too early for him to have started his actual lap.
No, he is cruising. He is cruising, so it must have been his proper lap.
He is cruising.
Okay, right, who's
So
next then?
If anything, he went too early, so
Yeah.
keep an eye on him, but it is Pete next.
Yes, that's why I got confused. I was thinking that both of those two were so close, Iceman and Jimmy. I'm thinking, how is that possible? But this whole system's in there to stop that happening. But, well. Here's Jimmy, or not Jimmy, Pete for the first sector. No,
Can't forget a champion's name now, can you, surely?
Well, listen, he's told me to keep an eye on him here for this weekend. Or for today. Mind you, he had a few pints in him by the time he'd said this, but still, he thinks he'll have pace, and that's all that matters. And, yes, we'll see how he gets on. There's a few cars in front of him that might get in his way. Hopefully they don't, though. It's 2 cars.
If anything, he might get a lovely little slipstream off of his teammate.
Yeah, well,
Iceman here. Oh, and Iceman's going to move out of the way. He's not playing ball.
Jamie gave a tiny tow, though. Not much, but it might have gained him 1 mile an hour.
Yeah, something like that.
Here he comes
Into
then.
the final couple of corners. And it is Pete Knighton, 21 car, and he will go P3 in front of his teammate, who didn't give him a tow.
I spy
What about Jamie
with
right
my
then?
little eye the medium tyres on Jamie's car.
Car.
And of course, on his Joker strategy...
Betting suspended for this one.
Yeah, what else would he have chosen for this? Let's be honest. I said it
I
straight
wonder.
away. Of course he was going to do this. But he has to get into the top 10, I guess, to make it viable. Either way, he probably still starts on them. But as he comes through the number 19, the last sector now. After this, only 3 more to go. Then being Kyle, Cam and Arnold. But here comes Jamie. Pretty much has to qualify, 7th to guarantee a top 10 start. But he's only 10.
Ooh.
Not quite working out again.
He's not going to stay there. He's not going to stay there.
I wouldn't imagine so, no. As Kyle comes
Smith.
through.
He won in VSL last night. It wasn't at Bahrain, but he did win.
Is he running the VSL colours?
I think he is.
Yeah.
New design certainly for JACKOCAR, but I think the VSL boys on a Wednesday night see this every week as he comes up to the line, and it's P3 for the man third in the standings. What about the American driver, Owen?
Let's see.
Cam.
Let's see how he gets on. An interesting livery on this car, isn't it? I'm still trying to figure out what colour it is. It's like a botched British racing green mixed with salmon, mixed with
It's salmon,
grey.
it's salmon peach, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
really...
I'm not too sure. I mean, it's
Really
again, it's again unique, isn't it? It's like pastel
Yeah,
colours or something. But I like it.
I'm a big fan of pastel colours, I must
Yeah.
admit.
Let's see
Anyway.
if it brings him any speed, though, as he heads through. Currently, right up there in the championship, he'd be thrilled to be going this late, getting the best of the track conditions, but can he make the most of it, as he sees the checkered flag now, and goes P3.
P3.
Only 7/100 of a second off P1, but that's of course before this guy goes, and my goodness me, at night time, it looks like a Tesco chocolate eclairs wrapper, and a Cadbury's one as well, take your pick, but very shiny, and we know how quick he's been this season, and I don't think anyone's surprised to see him leading the championship. Can he set the pace once again, though? It hasn't actually really worked out for him so far this year. It's a bit like Khalifa, where it's like he's dominant, but he's not dominating. Still might win the championship in the end, but that's sort of the vibe he's going for. But let's see if he can set pole position and set the pace once again as he heads.
Leader in playoff points at the moment this season as well, and looking to deny Redmat of his first pole position. Arnold, I believe, as the second highest pole sitter of all time, as he goes P1 on a 24.9. That's exactly what we said earlier on. And he's
Yeah.
Arnold on pole position. That is his 12th pole in the league.
Surprising, that. Anyway, moving on. We know he's on pole, and that is really just not a surprise at all, is it? But it is Red Matt in second and Arthur in third. Not a grid that many would have predicted coming here, I don't think.
No.
Certainly,
I did hear from one of the team
grid.
speed drivers that Red Matt was quietly confident, and now he can talk a little bit louder.
Indeed.
With a front row start right next to Arnold.
And of course, it's quite a long run to turn one here, so that front row could easily become the lead. I've seen so many people go from third to first here as well, but by turn one. So Arthur could be looking at that too. But we're just waiting for Cam to get into his pit box, by the way. Since he crossed the checkered flag, his AI has to do that whole lap in, and we have to watch it do the whole lap in. But eventually, that will end, and we can confirm our grid. Only 17 drivers did a lap, and SD Max was quite slow but still finished it. And the grid then today, it is Arnold on pole, from Red Matt, Arthur, Cam, Kyle, Pete, Iceman, Risky, Thomas and NK Bourne. They'll all start on no softs, and outside the top 10 with a free tire choice, Matinho, Splinter, Jamie with the Joker, Newgarden, Kieran, Jess, SD Matt, Jamie, Jake and Deck.
Deck, of course. We mentioned the VSL League. Deck got a podium last week, a P3. So he is good round here, and that was behind the likes of Matt Bode, of course, race winner in JACKOCAR. So I think coming from the back of the grid, he's certainly going to be one to look out for.
Yeah, we'll see how he gets on. We know if these safety cars around here, it could put really anyone in position. So as long as you're in it, you can win it. And that's actually probably something that Jamie's going to be praying doesn't happen, these safety cars. But I can't really see it not happening tonight. He wants this Joker strategy to work out. And these safety cars, we've seen them so far this season, they could be utterly destructive to a strategic race. Especially with all the debris causing punctures. It's something that is meant to...
Jamie J. Luke getting abuse in the chat from Pete. You're not fast enough for the alt strat anymore. Sorry.
Well, it's fact, isn't it? He only qualified 13th. But like I say, punctures could be a problem to his strategy today if he can pick up anything from debris. That was a feature on the last game, but it just didn't work properly. So, shocking, I know. But now it does. Which actually is a shock. But, yeah, that's just something that he'll have to worry about. And what everyone's going to have to worry about, especially if this lap is as destructive as it could be at the start. But we will have to wait and see when it all kicks off at the end of this formation lap. The tyres then. Everyone, like to say, in the top 10 starting on the softs, and it's Vitinho on mediums, Splinter on softs, and Jamie and Newgarden on mediums, and then Kieran, Jess, Estimance, Jamie and Jake on softs, and then Deck at the back, he's going to go on mediums as well. No one on the hard, no one really expected that, and then obviously there's those soft runners, and so we'll see what strategy's like tonight. I'm still undecided myself what I'm going to do in One Hut tomorrow, and these guys aren't going to help me in the slightest. I don't even know why I'm bothering to think about this. Jamie, this one stop better work. Tell me the strats, my dude. But yeah, they're all heading round there.
Just looking at that train of speed cars, you know, P6, 7 and 8 all in a row. Wonder if they can help each other tonight. Of course, the esports, the teams championship this season, is based off of the esports teams that drivers drive for. Speed was 6 drivers tonight. That is a record for them ever in 53 starts in JACKOCAR. So good to see they got, what was that, 4 drivers in the top 10. Of course, Newgarden there as well, and Deck starting from the back, but Deck very fast. Traditionally, I would expect him to be closer to the front of the grid. But he is just a word on Deck actually. It's highly likely that he will be getting the full-time seat that Marine left behind, or car 68. So as much as it is a trial tonight, it is also very much the start of his JACKOCAR campaign, as including this race. 14 races to go this season as we head on the run in towards Christmas.
Yeah, I'm just checking. Kieran still doesn't have a helmet. I guess he felt the helmet was just having him be overprotected or something, because he's come here with a statement. His eyes are wide open. He's absolutely not terrified in the slightest. He has got a visor, sorry. He's got a visor on there, actually. Sorry, he's got a little arrow piece in the back as well. And that's exactly what they were selling on the store. I promise you, they were twice. And it's like, I still can't get my head around that. So he'll go into turn 1 with no protection whatsoever.
Well, don't try it at home, eh?
Absolutely not. But
it's your time.
It is indeed. The lights are being spammed on. Look at that. It's Arnold from Red Mat, and now they're going to go out, and we're going to wait for them to go because it takes a while. But we are going. It looks like Arnold's had a really good start, so he should be okay. We've already lost a front wing back there. Might well have been Jamie. He might have hit Jess, who didn't get off the line. But she has got off now. I think it was her who was stuck, but we'll wait and see.
And
Arthur's been done by Cam just in time. Risky hit for Tino. Okay. But like I say, I'm not too sure who'd got the bad start, but someone clearly had a bad start, which meant Jamie hit them. I'm just trying to figure out who it could have been, if anyone else got damaged. I was saying Jess, but I'm not sure if it was her. Just those two were closest to each other, so I had to sort of assume. Now, the problem for Jamie is that a VSC, while useful, doesn't last long enough to get him back to the pits on most occasions, so we'll need to keep our eye on that. But anyway, it's Arnold leading from Red Mat. Arthur has actually got back ahead of Cam, so I guess Cam hadn't quite got ahead in time. So,
yeah. It was Arthur ahead into turn 1 of Cam, and then Cam gave the position back.
Yeah. So it's everyone accelerating again. Are they just preparing to go, or are they actually going? Or still waiting for it? It's all about sort of nailing the timing on it, because you can mug people off if you just hang back and then floor it at the right moment. And just to update, there's 2 penalties. There's Risky and Bettina. They both got penalties for their collisions, so there's both 5-second penalties each. When are we gonna go then? Is Red Mat going to be able to catch Arnold off guard? Looks like Pete's falling back. There's a few positions changing. Did those positions change?
Lovely for Arnold.
In time, I think they were all well behaved. Arnold.
Look at Arthur on the back of Red Mat.
Yeah, Arnold's clear. So Red Mat.
Is he not?
Yeah, Arnold's
not
just
quite close enough.
Arnold's well clear.
Next time around.
Even though Red Mat broke quite late into turn 1, and Arnold was still well ahead, and Arthur falls back a bit as a result. That was good braking from Red Mat, actually, showing a lot of confidence there. And we've got 6 cars in the pit lane, all of them going on to the medium compound tyre, and they'll do their business in there, change their front wings, I'm assuming, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if some of these are strategy.
I was going to say Kyle pitted from P5.
Yeah, like Kyle,
yeah,
for
that's
example.
Massive. I like that. I like that. Very brave from him. Of course, one stop is possible round here.
Yeah.
It's a stretch, but possible.
Marion.
So, of course, technically a 2-stop.
I think Marion had done this.
And here we go, Owen.
Splinter's gone. So that's him in trouble. Hopefully he can get himself back in the race. He is out in P20 now. But as I was saying, Marion tried the strategy in France the other week, and we saw the pitfalls of it because you're in the pack. And if you get a safety car, you could get involved in an accident, and it's what angered Marion so much that he left the league. He really was not happy with that restart accident, but it's the risk you take by doing a strategy like this. There you can see on the screen.
Splinter's gone for a spin again.
Another one. That'll be overheated tyres now after that first spin. Arthur's fallen outside a second here off Red Mat. No DRS until the run up to turn 4. So unless Arthur can get a run and get into the DRS range of Red Mat before turn 1...
Oh, Splinter's had another spin.
Yeah. So I don't think Arthur got there. So this could be Cam's opportunity to go up to P3. Let's see if he does it early or not. Because he'll see those front 2 sprinting away and doesn't want to get too far back. Jake, I think, had some sort of problem. Either that or he's just pitted for natural reasons. He will come out near SD Matt. I think probably just ahead, but it depends on how he heats his tyres up and what exit he gets out of this first couple of corners. But I think SD's going to struggle to get by him. He certainly will with that slide. So lots of pit stops happening quite early in this race. Arnaud is trying to get Redmat to break out of DRS, but as it stands, Redmat certainly enjoying that DRS. And I must say the golden,
nice to see.
I must say the golden cars at the front of the grid, it does just make sense, doesn't it? Really. But
it does.
Redmat's gold is looking a lot nicer than Arnaud's gold. His gold looks a bit more yellow at the minute. It looks like some fake gold, you know, they're using like chemistry or something. And it's just like, you know it isn't it, but you're going to be told it is. Still.
Tell you what, Cam is on the back of Arthur now, as Redmat closes the gap to Arnaud as well. So we got battles developing here, and it's Splinter who has retired.
Here's the safety car potentially. Let's just wait and see if Cam gets past first.
It's all eyes on Cam.
He does a lot of pit stops. There's a lot of people, by the way, are expecting a safety car to come out, but I don't think they're going to get it. But like I say, people making early pit stops in this race, so many have done it that you might as well. Jamie's going to the end of the race now. He's on the hards, so look out for him later on. But no safety car for Splinter, although his car is still there on the map.
Such a shame for Splinter as well. He's only 7 points away from hitting the 300 club, but he just can't quite get there. Then again, Bahrain, one of his least favourite tracks, so hopefully we see him in the future. A return to Cup Series maybe for Season 5. He's certainly got the pace.
Car off, I think. Risky might have just sent himself off to Narnia. Jamie's trying to challenge MK Bourne, but will Risky lose out?
Here comes Jake on the back of Risky, yeah.
Not quite. Yeah, I think he went off at turn 1. I could see it on the map. Wasn't 100% sure. But look at this for the lead. Arnaud, bit of a squirrely rear end there, and he does have Redmat, seemingly the more confident driver. Now, will they think about pitting though soon? They've seen so many, i.e. Kyle, seemingly on some good pace on those mediums, and well, they could get caught out a tad here. So let's see if these two pit on this lap, because they must be seeing everyone else doing it. Arnaud
goes late.
He does go late, and Redmat just didn't have enough time to go for it without potentially risking speeding, I suppose. So Arnaud in the pit lane. Will he come out in any traffic? I'm not sure he will, so he should be okay with this. Pete is also in the pits, and he comes out okay. But we have got Jess coming down the main straight. Is she going to get in the way of Arnaud? I think she is, and this could slow Arnaud down just a tad. He's just got to hang back here, because this could be vital for the race win. Arthur's on the back of Cam as well. I just want to see, he's not in the DRS yet, so we'll keep our eye on Jess, who's, I think, actually let Arnaud go there. So that's not going to ruin anything for Arnaud. He might have even got a dose of DRS off of her, actually, as it turned out. Kyle's overtaken Pete up into turn 4, but let's see if Arthur can get up to Cam. I don't think he can. He didn't have a good X. He's not using the ERS either. Now, when
you said Kyle had overtaken Pete, he was overtaking. It was still ongoing, and Iceman almost got caught out as they went into turn 7. They had to back out of that, but Kyle now up to P9, and of course his gap to Arnaud is about 4 seconds. So he hasn't really done anything by pitting early there. Just that Arnaud will have fresher tyres during this stint.
When's the playoff point?
End of lap 7,
right.
And it'd be very clever of Redmat to stay out. But as I say that, he pits,
headed, yeah, so
and Cam takes the lead.
Arthur takes the lead. Here he goes. That'll be in straight through. Will he be able to hold this for the next 2 laps and grab that point? Because right now he's in the good position for it. Where's Redmat going to come out as well? Will he still be in DRS of Arnaud?
Arnaud's just at the start-finish line. It's going to be very, very close. If it should just be Arnaud, it will just be Arnaud.
No,
but the gap is much the same.
He should get a run on DRS up the hill though now, just to help him stay close. But Arnaud is sprinting away, and that's the risk that you take by pitting second. He is just about within a second, but those tyres are not going to be up to temperature yet. He will be understeering, especially in that S section. Could cost him a chance at this win, perhaps, because I think if he's not in the DRS, Arnaud might feel a lot more comfortable. And he's only got one more corner to close that gap to make sure he gets DRS on this run to turn 11. And I think he's missed it. Oh, it's so tight. He just closed in there now, but I think it was too late. Not in DRS, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that. See if he can close it anytime later on. Cam is still on the back of Arthur, but he hasn't got much ERS to fight with, so Arthur, as long as he stays out there and goes for the playoff point, he should get it.
I can see him pitting this lap.
I can see that too, you know. But
He
he's not.
doesn't.
I guess he feels, because the start-finish line is so close to the start to the pit lane speed limit, he could just
pit on lap 7.
Yeah, and still get it. Of course,
that's
that
assuming Cam doesn't have a run on it up to turn 4.
Yeah. Of course, even if Cam's behind, it would give him that split second to decide, oh, do I want to, as Deck gets by Newgarden, it'd give him that split second to decide if he wants to get... Oh, hold up, look at this. Red Matt is passing Arnold, is he? He's just looking at him. He had a great final sector. Sorry, I'll continue my thought on Arthur and Cam in a second, but Red Matt's had a superb last sector and has been able to catch up to Arnold, so... Okay, that is showing intent, isn't it? He really does want this win.
Absolutely. Championship battle is open.
Yeah, we'll see how this one develops. But like I say, Arthur could pit, and that gives Cam a second to decide if he wants to do an extra lap or not. So I wonder if they might actually, just for safety, stay out another lap and just get that point. No way Kieran gets it unless they crash or anything, but it looks like they're still getting close. Cam, I don't think he'll try anything silly into the last corner or anything. It's not like it's for the race and win. A point, though, is useful. You'll always take a point if you can.
It's useful later on in the season. Right now, it doesn't mean a lot, but trust me, that point in for about 7 races' time, he might just need it.
If he keeps this form up, Cam, he will be needing those points. So,
if he keeps this form up, Cam's going to be a race winner by the end of the season.
Arthur pits.
Will pit,
keep our eye on
and Cam will steal the point.
Yeah, so Cam needed to be, I guess.
Experience.
Cam needed to be, I guess, a second further back for that to work out for Arthur, so he doesn't actually get a playoff point. He has also been undercutted, I'd imagine, quite a bit, so he might not be on the back of Arnold and Redmat, or even really that close to them, as Redmat continues to close on the net race leader. They are way ahead of Jamie at the minute, so Jamie, what's that gap to him? As there's a freeway scrap going on, by the way, and Iceman's just had 2 cars go either side of him. And he's now going to try and get them both back, as he tries a wee cut back. He's got no rear end, though. So Kyle ahead of Pete, ahead of Iceman. Those 3 have been having a cracking scrap so far in this race. They haven't really been watching it too much. And they're making,
a little bit of contact.
Making more contact. Like I say, this scrap's been going on for quite a while. We haven't seen much of it yet, but we're certainly watching it now. And Pete loses a bit of time in the S section, but defends the inside. Iceman can't get at him. But as I was trying to say before I saw that fight happening, the gap between Jamie and Arnold is about 12 seconds. So that's sort of what Arnold's got to play with. He has to make a bit more time to see if he can jump Jamie. But I think Jamie, anyway, on the tyres, he'll have no chance at winning the race at this point unless he gets a safety car to help him. So yeah, that's how his Joker's going right now. It was still getting much harder than the 13th place finish, though, so we can't really complain, I guess. As
Cam pits.
Cam does pit. Will Kieran follow suit at this point? Might as well stay on it, I guess. Try something different. Hope for a safety car, or a virtual safety car, more like. Sorry. Deck now has gone from last to second, so he'll be hoping Kieran pits at some point soon. He'll have a little stat on his belt there. Went from last to first in just 10 laps. You might be able to enjoy that in a moment. Arthur, just seeing, Arthur's on the softs at the minute. Didn't actually pick up on that, so Cam won't be getting anywhere near him anytime soon, I assume, but that'll come towards him at the end. So we'll see if Arthur can
Kyle
make
and
a
Pete
gap.
still going at it.
Yeah.
Pete doing the same as the last lap down the inside, but he's got a slightly better run this time, and it's contact!
Car,
well, that's a safety car.
Or is it? Haven't seen it pop up yet. There we go.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that fight was quite good for the most part, but sadly it's ended in disaster for more than one person. Jamie will be absolutely thrilled by this, because he'll be able to close that gap right down to Arnold and Red Matt. He's got a couple of cars in between, but still he knows he doesn't have to pit again. And Kieran
just watching the
hits.
Yeah, sorry,
everything.
I'm just watching the replay. Iceman went right through the middle of Kyle and Pete there. and it was so close to being a free car accident, but it's Kyle who's got away with it, and Pete is out of the race.
So let's say Kieran's race is now ruined. And I think there's only 2 other cars out there. Deck and Newgarden also haven't pitted, so effectively they're in trouble because they got to pit twice. I'm sure we get more safety cars later on, which will get the back into, but for now they'll probably get cycled to the back when they do pit for the first time, which is a shame. Yep. Especially for Jack as well, who was looking for that last to first. It was going to be a very brief last to first, but still, it would have been quite nice to see.
Last to first, nonetheless.
Well, yeah, not quite going to get it. So then, Kieran, like I say, felt a bit overprotected with the helmet on, so he decided to remove it for this race, and he is now leading it and proving his point to the safety car now by showing it in the safety car. Bert Maynard will be thinking, what on earth is this guy doing with no helmet on behind me? I think we could just screenshot this. I will do that now. And that's just F1 2021 in a nutshell. I don't think a screenshot could summarise a game so well. But there you go. A visor and a little aero element and no helmet to go with it. That is just bizarre. Right then, penalties by the way. I think the only person with one is Jamie, and has he been in the pits more than once today? Yeah, he has. He's been in the pits twice. Those tyres are just neon. So has he pitted for front wing? We can obviously check on the wee pit stop toggle. And I don't... Lap 10 he pitted. I think we could be looking at an illegal pit stop there. Because I don't see it. It's a 2 odd second pit stop. I wouldn't suggest that's damage unless it's a puncture, but I guess you'd have to get confirmation for that from Jamie.
Yeah.
So that's worth looking into.
Always.
Because, like I say, punctures do happen. They do happen because of the debris all around. When there's 2 cars crashing off, it's not unreasonable to think there would be some debris there. That's what the safety car is out for. So, yeah. Because it could put Jamie in such a good position here to have a chance at the win. Although saying that he does have the only penalty of the day, still, those tyres can get to the end from here, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. It'll be big asterisks over his name if he can get a good result tonight until we find out why he pitted. And I believe the safety car should really be in this lap now. There's no other reason for it to still be out. We've packed the pack up, and we'll get our first chance to use the new restart zone. And I'm pretty sure...
Let's see if
I'm pretty sure...
Kieran's been listening to the rules.
I'm pretty sure there is only 2 grid slots before the start-finish line here anyway. So, you really...
Perfect.
I think it's 2 or 3. It's really not many. So you don't really have a much better chance to see a proper reference of this than you do here. So there's no possible way you could possibly get this wrong, right?
Well, put it this way, Owen. It's Kieran, who's just almost gone into the back of the safety car, who's in control of the restart. So we're about to find out, aren't we?
Yes, and he's, like I say, still going around with no helmet. Well, he's certainly asking if they
pick up on that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I think he just wants his rivals to see the whites of his eyes. You want a piece of me? I can see you. And it's just maybe trying to unnerve them because he hasn't blinked once this whole race. If you noticed, it's like a ragdoll in there. It's just, it's so creepy. But the safety car is in at the end of this lap. And wide-eyed Mr. Spears is getting ready to go. At least those lights would be keeping him awake. But we'll need to see if he can get this restart sorted. And
just the top 3 drivers yet to make a pit stop.
Yeah.
As it is. And you say a potential illegal pit stop with Jamie at the back of the grid there, who's lagging all over the place. We won't go on board with him.
Yeah, let's go on board with Kieran then, and we'll just keep our eye on the restart zone. Safety car's in, so now it is Kieran who's in control. The green flag will come out in a second, but you go when you get to that grid slot. So here come the grids, look. There's 1, 2, and he's gone. A little bit later.
Perfect.
A little bit later, but it's a
Well,
little bit...
it's between the
Look at
slots
this.
and the
Sorry
finish
to
line.
interrupt you here, but look at Jamie. He's had one of the best restarts I've ever seen. He's up into 4th place, and it looks like Red
Awesome.
Matt must have just not been awake, because he's lost a few sort of positions, but he's only lost 1 to Arthur 2. And Jamie's put himself right into contention for his victory now. That was superb. I think...
And that's exactly what he did in Baku as well. Each time he made up positions.
I think Cam has also lost out here. He's down a few positions, and we have our yellow flag. It's SD Mats.
SD Mats.
Red Matt's passing Jamie
Red
again.
Matt up the inside.
Yeah, it's got him. And
Jamie's sensible not to fight it.
Arthur's on new
Go on.
tyres. He'll get through as well. Surely. And oh, no he won't. There's a few concertinaing up.
Just about.
Hopefully there's no damage in there, but Jamie's in Narnia. And he's been done definitely this time by Arthur. Arnold.
Jamie got away with it. He just needs to keep his head because he's still in contention to win this race, as you say. Everyone in front of him has to pit at least once.
This is where Arnold
As does everyone behind him.
really needs to prove his worth right now. Because Red Matt, he got mugged once and recovered instantly. He's got a lot of ERS to use. No DRS, but he's got to pass Arnold now. Because this is when Arnold's going to be struggling in that traffic. I hope they don't pit straight away. Kieran might, and Deck will not. Good to see. It means that he might just get a little bit in their way, and it's going to give Red Matt a mega tow, but he's not using his ERS. Is he going to try and pass? Why didn't he just go for the move? I don't really get that, but Deck is fighting away. He has gone from last to first, and Arnold's now going to go from second to third, because look at Red Matt cutting his way through turn 3 and going alongside, but look at Arthur as well. Arthur really wants a piece of this, as Arnold's going right around the outside, and he gets blocked off. He's been boxed in, look, by Red Matt and Deck. And surely Red Matt, if he wants the victory, he's got to go for it now. And he's just not able to get through, and it's going to cost him, because here comes Arthur
wow.
trying to get involved. Red Matt desperately trying to get through,
Time
so
penalty.
desperate in fact that he's got a penalty, and Arthur gets blocked off by him on the exit, and there's no way through. Talk about handing a victory to
down
Arnold.
the inside of Red Matt. Oh, just about stops himself there as well.
Like I say, talk about
Deck,
handing
by the way, and all of that. He becomes the 6th driver to lead the race tonight. Red Matt's still on the back of Arnold, though. What a fight we have here for the lead. Deck's just holding these up for fun.
Like I say, talk about handing someone a chance at victory on a plate. Arnold, well, Red Matt has just been like, have it, Arnold. He really just didn't commit himself. And Arnold still has more ERS than him, so I just don't see the gains of that. Maybe he'll learn for next time, but Arthur, on the aggressive tyre at the minute, will surely pass Red Matt at some point. As Deck, does he defend or is he just pitting? He is just pitting. DRS is now enabled.
So next lap is a stage point as well.
Red Matt will have a chance up the hill here, as Arnold does miss his apex. That'll make his angle for turn 2 a bit more acute, and you can see the effects of that
as well. Yeah,
as he has his little slide. Red Matt
it's
will.
Red Matt, sure, he's got to send it. He's got to send it, Owen.
He doesn't.
He does not
send it. He is too afraid. It's JACKOCAR. You can have a little bit of a bump as well when you're passing. You know, it's not illegal. You can force your way past a rival.
But Owen, the last 2 drivers who've had a bump with Arnold, it's been
2
on
cars
race
off, isn't it?
final laps. Yeah, what's that?
That is MK Bourne, safety car, and I believe someone else was in there. I'm not too sure who. Might have just been him, actually. But he's got a penalty anyway, MK Bourne, and of course, no front wing. And this helps Jamie even further. Not that he was, close enough anyway. But it just gives the rest, a few more laps of quiet where he can just sit there and think, they're not making a gap on me. Brilliant.
Jamie said in the chat earlier that the Joker may get shafted, and I quickly replied to him saying, well, it may not be the case even with 2 safety cars. 1, yes, it ruins it. 2, brings you back into play. And he is very much in play here, isn't he?
Indeed, absolutely. Like I say, I imagine on the softs, Arnold will be a couple of seconds quicker, probably at the end. And if he gets a safety car after his second stop, then it's pretty much curtains for Jamie. But look, we could you know, see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hopefully nobody makes any pit stops.
Arthur's about to make an illegal stop. That's illegal. That's a
Ah.
straight up 30-second penalty.
Yeah, so he's not going to win this race. Unless literally everybody else retires. That's a shame, isn't he? He was having a good run as well. But
It was indeed.
that's how it works. Another one's in the pits as well. That's MK Born only, so that is perfectly legal, actually. Could help him here, actually. Ironically. Depends what colour those tyres are, and they are the right colour. That will be going to the end of the race. He has got one penalty, or is it his first stop or his second stop? Has to be his second stop, surely. Yes, there we go. Updates now.
MK Bourne, yeah, second.
Right.
What a shame for Arthur. But he's a rookie. It's race 1. I did ask him if he has read the rules. He said yes, but that was 4 minutes before the lobby went, so a lot to remember. Drafted in late for Michael O'Kay with internet problems. I'm sure he'll be back later this season, because he's certainly shown some promise, hasn't he? Very good driver is Arthur.
Well, at least he's showcased that he does have the speed, but he can now showcase his knowledge of the rule book for next time, I suppose. But everyone makes that mistake at some point, don't they?
Oh yeah, the amount of drivers we've seen pit and it's not been legal is
It's force of habit,
silly.
isn't it?
It is. Of course, you forget as well, all of these guys race in other leagues as well. Tuesdays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, some even on Saturdays. Then, like, we're the only league where you're not allowed to pit under a safety car, as far as I'm aware.
I think also in the heat of the moment in the race, you're sitting there and you might just forget. You're thinking, oh, I've got this many laps to go. I tell you what, this tire could do that. And by the time you've realised, you're already in the box and you're thinking, oops, race over. But as long as he keeps going, of course, he'll get points. You have to finish the race to get the points. That is the new rule this season.
Yeah. So that's everybody down to 18th, currently getting points. 16th, 17th and 18th, currently Arthur, Catchman and MK Bourne. It's all 1 point, but it's 1 point more than Pete and Jamie, who have crashed out.
And we're lucky it wasn't more, really. Because that was certainly
I'm surprised
close.
Kyle's still in the running.
Yeah, look at
Iceman
Kyle.
lucky to get away with it.
You'd forget Kyle was even in an accident, wouldn't you? With where he's sitting, no penalties, up in P6.
He's well happy there, isn't he? And Iceman, P5, like, where's that come from?
It's just how it works, isn't it? I mean,
Not to be rude.
I said it before the race starts. If you're in it, you can win it. So there you go.
I
mean-
am slightly concerned for Newgarden though, sat in P8 and hasn't even stopped yet.
Yeah, that is a worry actually. And looks like Jamie and Jess are now engaging in some overtaking on the safety car, which is not good.
Also illegal.
Yeah, very illegal that. Luckily the game deals with that one though, you don't have to worry about that. But, right, can we go green now? We've had our fun on the safety car.
Had a little cool down.
Yes, and now, obviously, I said before about people who pitted, I'm trying to think, yes, at the start of that last restart. Of course, now they're back in the running, particularly Deck, who's sitting there on softs. We'll see how many positions he can gain, but the safety car is now coming in. Arnaud, as usual, leading, but can he get the win? He's got a long way to go, and it has to be said, red mat's penalty really doesn't help his case. He's got to get past quickly. We know he's probably quicker, you know, but he's just not been brave enough to overtake. But let's see how this restart goes. We know...
The advantage he's got is he knows when Arnaud's going to go. He's limited to that sort of 2 grid slots,
Yeah,
so
he
red mat, if he's
also-
right on the back of Arnaud, he can do it.
He also knows that Jamie was very good at the restart last time. So let's see if Jamie's going to do it again. I'm going to ride on board with him and see if he nails this again. I assume he's sort of preempting the start. That's what tends to happen. And yeah, he's straight through. straight away preempts it and is straight ahead of Redmat, who's again asleep on the restart. And I guess he just wasn't aware of where this restart zone is. That's all I can guess, because he just never seems to get the restart right. Arnold, of course, runs clear as a result, and Cam's cutting corners. We've sent Risky off the road. Could be contact as he comes back on, but I think they're okay. Jamie's up in 9th, and Redmat's got straight back past Jamie by the looks of it. Yes, he has. And we're still side by side into the chicanes. On a restart, this might not be the best idea, but they're making it work, these guys. Look how close they are running through the chicanes. Very impressive stuff. And you can already see Deck there up to 11th place. So he's making those tyres work on the restart. Much newer, much faster tyres. And it's certainly paying dividends to him at the moment. Redmat's already 1 second off of the race leader.
Yeah. Arthur and Deck looking very racy as well, like you say, on those new tyres. It's such a shame that Arthur's got that penalty incoming as well. Really is a great shame there. Because I think he's going to be one of those in contention for a race win. Or would have been.
Look at Jamie. It's a shame he made an illegal pit stop
contact.
as well.
Deck hits Vitinho at the top of the track. More contact. There's a crash.
There, is there?
Deck backs out of it. Vitinho will drive away. Sorry, Owen.
Who crashed?
It was Deck went into the back of Vitinho, and then
right.
Arthur made it free wide.
Gotcha.
Pitter, Arnaud, and
Yes.
Iceman.
This covers them for another safety car now. All these people in the box now. Including Deck for, I assume, a front wing. So all those places he's just made up, he's about to lose. It's funny how this goes, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
And that is Newgard making his first stop. Frankly, if I'm him, why am I putting hards on? He must be coming straight back in, right? He must just come straight back in and stick softs on.
Surely.
That has to be it, because if you
Just
get a
10
safety
laps to go
car,
here.
gets a safety car, he's back in it. So just pit again and get some softs on, and then if you get a safety car, you're looking okay. You can salvage it from here. But we'll see what he decides to do. Redmat now leads. I think Arnold had got the other playoff point though, so
Yeah, he did.
he's
Lap 15.
still happy enough. And Redmat leading, should be leading some more laps to be honest with you, but I'm sure he'll learn that he can make some overtakes, because it's not. It's not.
I like how he's been given a full-time seat. He's stepped up straight away.
Yeah.
Putting in a solid performance, but DRS enabled J-Luke inside that window.
Let's say as soon as he gets a handle on the rules, then he will be rapid, I think. Because I think if he realises just how much you can barge past people in this league, he'd be doing it to everyone. He'd be straight up there.
Speaking of barging, Arthur's through on Vitinho.
Arthur
Great move.
in 5th again, another driver who's not going to be anywhere at the end of this, unfortunately, because
Look at MK Bourne
of his pit stop as MK
versus
Bourne.
Vitinho. These two have history. Don't forget Baku
Yeah.
earlier this season.
And don't forget MK Bourne, the driver who put out the last safety car. Must be said, it's not looking too bad for him. He's running in net second
He's looking
place.
alright, isn't he?
Net second place, or sorry, yes, net second place, because the two stop in front of him are both, I think, and we'll confirm later, illegal. Jamie, though, has got the pace. He will only have 10 more laps to go at the end of this. And if we don't get any more safety cars, then the gap between him and Arnoud is, well, it's 18 seconds.
18 seconds.
That will be tight, you know, at the end, because I'm pretty sure Arnoud will have the pace to close that quite quickly.
He's also, Owen, he's within DRS of Redmat as well.
Yeah, we're watching
I think it's a done deal.
I really do think this is a good chance for him. It's just if these tyres are they going to be too slow? That's the question.
Redmat will pit.
Pits, and so now it's all about the last 10 laps of this race. Can Jamie go and win this thing? Let's see what sort of lap times Arnoud's doing, shall we?
J-Luke won this race at the start of Season 2 as well. He knows what to do.
Arnoud is
just watch that gap.
About 2 seconds a lap quicker, so this is going to be so tight at the end of this race, because he'll have to blow his tyres to the point of, you know, having no grip left in him to make sure he catches up. And by then, will an overtake be necessarily easy enough, as Redmat out of the pits is side by side with Iceman. He's got the penalty, remember, and it's for stuff like cutting turn 3, as he's done for the second time there in this race at the very least, but he is just about ahead. That's why he has penalties, though. It's stuff like that which costing him. As Jess, who has still got a stop to make, doesn't she? She's one of the last drivers now. Newgarden did make that second stop earlier, so it's only Cam and Jess. Cam and Jess who need to pit, and after that we are all solid. Let's see what Jamie's next lap is, because we're just going to have to constantly keep our eye on this and make sure his pace is okay. Here we go. Last corners, and I think it'll be another 1 minute 29 something. While Arnaud, who was arguably in the dirty air, Jess, was maybe slowed down, so it's a 29-1, and Cam's pitted. Jamie, or is it, sorry, no, it's Jamie, apologies. Jamie's the one in the pits. Arnaud, let's see his lap time, because it'll just give you the best idea here of what this is like. Well, he's lost over a second apace. Maybe that, he did pass Jess this lap though, but it's cost him a second regardless. Jamie's going to take it. He's going to take it.
Owen, don't forget, Arnaud's, it's not just a matter of catching up to Jamie and passing him. He's got to get past, you know, everyone else in front of him, bar Cam.
Look at...
you know, it's not going to be easy.
Oh no, definitely not. MK Bourne, by the way, is...
MK Bourne is in with a shout of the win, but I just think Jamie has enough in the hand.
I'm not sure. I know MK Bourne's got a 3-second time penalty, but he's got 11 lap younger tyres. Surely
and
he'll
mediums.
be quicker. Yeah, surely he'll be quicker. The penalty's a real shame. I think, I don't know, it's only the 3 seconds though, isn't it? 3 seconds?
Yeah.
Gotta keep our eye on him too. He has a real shot at this. But we'll see. Let's see his lap times as well. See what they're like. Because he'll need some rapid laps to get himself into a position to 1, fight, and 2, pass Jamie. Jamie's lap,
I wonder
29.8.
I wonder if MK Bourne knows about Arthur's 30-second penalty as well. Cam pits, by the way. I'm sure the ART boys, if they're in a chat with MK Bourne, do let him know. Don't fight this.
He sort of has to, though, doesn't he? He can't let Arthur go past.
He's not going to lose 30 seconds to Arthur. No way.
But he is a second a lot quicker than Jamie, and this is the thing.
Oh, what a move from Arthur! Look at this. Wow.
Arthur right now is absolutely ruining MK Bourne's day because he's got the pace to win.
What I mean, you think any of the ART boys in the chat listen to the stream? They have to let him know about that. Because MK Bourne can win this race.
Well, he's not going to win it now. Not as long as Arthur's still doing that. I mean, if Arthur's got the pace, mind you, nothing's stopping him catching and passing Jamie, and that could send him back down.
Yeah, but Arthur has 30 seconds to be added on, don't forget.
Yes, but I mean in MK Bourne's case, it's not maybe the end of the day for him, because as long as he gets dragged along, if Arthur's going to catch, then...
yeah.
Might be alright. But you just think that... yeah, clearly Arthur's not aware. Or maybe he is and he's just doing his own thing.
Arthur has no idea.
Yeah. Cam came back out in P8, by the way, so he will probably be the fastest driver out there. So we'll see what he can do. I'm not sure he'll make many positions up, though. It's to sort of cost him this whole set of safety cars, I think. Because he's not really anywhere near close to anyone... near the podium, which is where he was earlier.
It's very refreshing to have Arthur and Redmat come in and put up a challenge to Arnaud, who we thought was going to walk away with this.
I tell you what, as well, I didn't even realise Jake was up there. Jake's in there too.
Yeah, he's having a great race. Another ART driver as well. Yeah. 3 of the top 4 from ART, wow.
This is going to be interesting because the gap now, 12 seconds from Arnaud to Jamie. It all feels like this is being poised for possibly this top 5 just sort of being crushed together. And we'll see what they do when they get there. Because it feels like the slowest one's at the front, the fastest one's at the back. It's that classic situation of, well, how's this one going to
Oh,
work
time
out?
penalty risky, yeah.
I think
It's all going
Jamie's
to come to
good.
a boiling point, isn't it?
Jamie's pace, though, seems okay at the minute. Really does seem okay. Of course,
Jamie could certainly do without any more safety cars.
yes.
One more would ruin it for him.
Of course, it would be, I think, what, the first Joker win of the season? And so it'll be a good point for Jamie just to be turning around and saying, this is my title, I'm going to become the first ever double champion. Because if he's driving like this all season, I can't really see it going to anyone else, because Arnold, as much pace as he has, just doesn't ever seem to be there when it matters at the minute. Of course, the Championship 5 is when it matters, as long as he's there then. But, you get my point.
Yes, I do.
So we have 6 to go. Gap now closed by nearly 2 seconds, but not quite. And Arthur's now closing at a decent rate of knots. I think actually Arthur and Arnold are sort of catching at the same rate, which is bad news if you're Jimmy, because that means Arthur will almost certainly catch you if he keeps his pace up. And, well, that's only going to help Arnold if they start fighting. So this should be quite good.
Yellow flags. Jamie Griffiths.
Oh, look at... Oh,
So one Jamie remains, and it's a safety car.
that is so disappointing.
Ah, what a shame.
Because it's the man in a 30-second penalty potentially incoming who's now going to cost the other driver who had a 30-second penalty of any chance of a result, but also...
What a shame. We could have done without that.
We could have, yes. But, I guess Jamie wouldn't have known about it, in fairness, but, now J. Luke, the other Jamie, is going to have, I reckon, well, how many laps is he going to have to deal with this for? He'll probably have to deal with a 3-lap shootout. Arnold will start that shootout in 5th. Could he win it from there? We'll have to wait and see. Anyone in that top 5 can win it. We know Jamie's restarts are good, but this time he's going to be the one who's doing the restart himself. He's the one who's going to lead the pack. That could possibly change the scenario for him. We'll wait and see. He's sort of one who's preempting restarts, but now he's going to literally have to control it. Bit different.
Just a tad.
Right. Can we have a restart already? I'm excited for this now. In a way.
Yeah, I am, because...
Like, it's building. I'm slightly disappointed that we aren't going to get that sort of massive closing, but...
With
all...
the tyre difference, it makes MK Bourne the net race leader, in a way. Assuming he can get past Jamie. But then Jake is fast, Arnold's fast, Red Matt is fast but has a penalty, Iceman's fast, Cam has the newest tyres so will be fast. I think anyone in the top 8 minus Arthur is in with a shout at this one.
Right, so the pack will not be caught up for a while now. We've got, by the way, we're putting out, let's say, we need one driver on the hard, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers on softs. So there could be a few points, or top 10 positions, sorry, being swapped around. Even top 5 up for grabs for some of them, you never know. Cam needed this safety car badly, because he's now right in this as well. He's on the best tires out of anyone. And he will not have that many cars to overtake to get into a strong position. 2 cars in front of him have a penalty, and another one has, we think, a 30-second penalty incoming. So there's a good chance he might get a result. We'll have to keep our eye on him. But yes, safety car will stay out for one more lap, and then hopefully we'll be about to get our final restart of the race. Because it's only Newgarden that's holding us back because he's not quite on the train yet. But he is now. There you go. They probably could have put that safety car in that last lap, to be honest, and it would have closed enough for him to catch. But I guess the game doesn't really do logic, does it?
No,
Never has.
It hasn't done for many years.
Just look at this guy with no helmet on. You know, it's just that's what they do.
Kyle, by the way, he's dropped off, hasn't he? Down in P13.
He has, yes. I wonder why that is.
Hmm.
Possibly he hadn't made a second stop. We just hadn't realised, perhaps. Because that incident with P, it's not like it was a small incident. I'm thinking, how on earth did he get? But then NK Bourne is up there, despite his accident. So, yeah, weird one that for Kyle. Perhaps he was involved in the Jamie incident.
Perhaps he's carrying some sort of damage, maybe. I don't know. From
floor
the
or
incident with
something.
Pete.
Could be floor.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, isn't it, from where we are sitting? But either way, he's 13th, and we'll see how he gets on with the restart, which will surely be coming soon. Stay tuned, folks, because this is looking like it's going to be quite an exciting end to the race. Because really, I'd say, out of the 5 people in the top 8 who don't have any penalties hanging over their heads, any of them could realistically win this race. And that is very nice to see. But now, please, lights, turn off and never come back on. I wish you were an Aston Martin, I can't lie. I'm a bit sick of the red Mercedes now. But Jamie, he has a restart to conduct. And Arnaud, he sits 5th. And if anything even thinks about going wrong for him, it could be his chance of the victory gone. He really has to nail everything here. As Jamie reaches those grids, and he's away. Arthur follows, as does NK Bourne, but look at Jake. He's trying to get himself onto the podium into 2nd place. This would be for if he can get it done. Arnaud and Iceman are fighting away. We're 4 wide nearly into turn 1. Can Arnaud break through? Of course he can.
The middle.
Oh no, he's gone. He's into the Narnia. He had got through, but not anymore. No, I said Cam can take advantage. He's not quite doing so at the moment. Risky's the one making all the moves.
Look at Risky.
He's up into P5. It's 0.2 of a second for the lead. What a shame. Arthur's going to potentially have a penalty hanging over his head. Right now, Jake is running in a net P2. But he's got a lot of work to do to try and get up to Jamie. And if he wants a chance at the victory, it's going to have to get moving now. Kyle has gone off. He has spun. And I think he's been collected as well. Arnaud is side by side with Iceman. And he's also trying to get by Fatinho, who's had a good restart. Collision between Thomas, who's been facing Ronway as well.
Iceman needs these points. He needs to keep Arnaud behind him.
Yeah,
and he does.
Arnaud, his chances of victory are looking pretty slim now. Has to be said. Redmac can still win this race if he can somehow find a way up past NK Bourne, but I have a feeling he might have some damage. He looks a bit odd there as Arthur goes past.
For the lead.
The thing is, Jamie
but
won't know.
It's not really for the lead.
But Jamie doesn't know that. That's what I'm saying. Jamie doesn't know.
Has Jamie been told? Has he been told?
I guess not. And if he hasn't been told, it's going to close his whole pack up. Dex moving up into the top 10. I think Arnaud might have had another incident. He's in the wall.
Arnaud.
Yeah, he's in the wall. This is what I was saying about his. This is what I was saying about his championship. He needs to get the consistency done. Same problem in season 1 with him, wasn't it?
Jamie.
But Jamie.
It was what? Sorry.
Jamie's now invited. MK Bourne into the fight, which is what we might have worried about. But he'll have to make 3 seconds in 1 lap if he does get past. It's absolutely imperative that Jamie doesn't get a penalty. Here comes Cam as well, wheel binding with Jake, and has to back off. Doesn't want to get involved in an accident because he's looking at a very strong championship position after this race anyway, so he doesn't want to have anything go wrong for him. Jamie...
He should go ahead of Arnaud with this on points.
Yeah. Jamie still leads this though. Kyle's into the pit lane. He might go for a fastest lap, I guess, at the end. Not retiring, no. Because obviously you lose the points for that. And you don't want to be doing that.
What rotten luck for Arthur. He's going to drop all the way from P2 down to P16 with his penalty.
It'll have to be very provisional though, because I could be wrong about his pit stop. It looked illegal to me.
No, Arthur's is illegal. Yeah, 100% is illegal. Yeah.
Okay, good.
The one you're on about is Jamie Griffiths, and he's retired anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Anyway, yeah. Okay, final lap hijinks then. We've got the front 2 who don't actually know that the man in 2nd place is about to get a penalty.
And it's 1 to go, not sponsored by Credit One Bank. Jamie leading at Bahrain full, like he did in Season 2. Owen White into Turn 1 they go. Arthur, does he know about his penalty? Hasn't he been told yet? or is he saving a DRS for later on in the lap?
Well, he's using the ERS, he's using the DRS, and Jamie's certainly defending him. Any contact here could cause some real problems for Jamie in this race, because there's a few cars behind. If they manage to make a 3-second gap, say Jamie has some forward damage or front wing damage, that 3 seconds could come about quite quickly. But I don't think Arthur's quite got the pace to hold on. And Jamie, if he can just survive this last lap, will be the first Joker winner this season. Jake, though, is trying to fight risky.
10 playoff points, by the way.
That is a big risk to take. And I think Deck's gone off for a spin. You can see him in the background. But look at all this. We've got Cam trying to desperately get by risky, because there's still a chance he could nick go on Jake, but they're wheel binding.
Oh, give him space, boys.
And there's no way through.
And they get away with it, and that's Iceman at the back of Cam as well.
Yeah, Iceman's trying.
Rivals.
Meanwhile, at the front.
Oh, Risky's gone on for a moment. He'll hold it, but Cam will slip through.
Arthur's trying to go for the lead, but he's running out of ERS. And will he dive him? No, he doesn't dive him. So Jamie then.
Very sensible.
Jamie then, on the Joker. He is going to cross the line first, and he is going to win here in Bahrain. And then we'll have to see what penalties do, but I believe it's going to put Jake up into third place and MK Bourne up into second place.
MK Bourne second. And ART 1, 2, 3, Owen. Massive.
And Speed with their full-time driver, new full-time driver with Red Matt up there in P4. Really impressive. Cam 6th. Could have been better for him today. Or 4th and 5th, sorry, yeah. And then Iceman 6th. Patino, Kieran, Risky. Deck did recover from the spin. We saw him going round at the Lance Stroll upside down corner. SC Matt, a 22nd time penalty.
Wow.
For ignoring yellow flags.
Because of that, then that means Arthur will finish P15.
How many cars did he pass? What yellow flags was he disobeying? Bizarre. Well then, it is Jamie, once again on the top step of the podium. It's becoming a bit of a normality once again for him. The Season 2 champion, looking to become the first ever double champion on JACKOCAR. Of course, the first to win 2 championships in 2 separate games. I mean, we've seen people like Pete lose performance across games, but Jamie's not shown any sign of that so far, which is good to see. So, top set of the podium for him once again, and let's say a very impressive podium. MK Bourne making it there into second place, and then Jake will join him post-race. He's not there at the minute. He'll join him after that in third. And let's say it's quite ironic that for MK Bourne, despite his accident, and despite a penalty in that accident, doesn't lose him anything. So there you go. Here's the order then. It is Jamie, we'll ignore Arthur. Then it's MK Bourne second. Then it is Jake, Redmat, Cam, Iceman, Patino, Kieran, Risky, Deck, Jess, Newgarden, Thomas, Arnold. Then it would be Arthur. Then SD Mats, and then we have only 2 more, or 4 more. Sorry, Kyle's the last finisher, and the rest don't get any points. So who cares? Alrighty then. So. Decent race though, yeah. The safety cars certainly played a part, didn't they? It was certainly an entertaining end to the race. Another time we've seen Arnold make mistakes.
Yeah.
Should have been his win. Should have been his win. And instead he put it in the wall twice on lap 27, which doesn't help his championship form. But once again, if he's there on the championship 5 and he wins it, he won't mind. But that's a long way away. Where are we next week, Jacko?
We go to where the Kia series were, and that is Japan.
Alrighty then.
September 16th.
Make sure you're all there then. We will be here, same time next week, at 7 PM. Me and Jacko, as always, will be taking you through it. Hope you enjoyed tonight's race. And yeah, cheers for watching. Safe travels, everybody. Get your vaccines, etc. And take care.